Make the big things small and the small things nothing. And if you live by that, you can just have such an easier life. Hello everyone, I'm Cari Champion and I am on set today with Argent Work Friends. I am a sports broadcaster, I am a television personality, I am a disruptor by choice. I try to speak for those who don't have a voice, especially in the world of sports. That is my goal, to meet at the intersection of sports and culture.
What was your earliest career aspiration and how is it different than what you're doing today?
Well, my earliest career aspiration was to be Oprah Winfrey. I don't know if that's changed much, but I remember seeing this woman who looked very familiar to me on television. And for whatever reason, she was so very captivating. And I thought that what she had to say was so important. And so early on, I was going to be a reporter in my local market. Once I started to work in this world, I noticed there was such a lack of. No one looked like me. No one talked like me. And so the goal has changed. It's not so much just being in front of the camera. It's also showing the world that it can be yes and. Yes, she knows sports and she is also smart. Yes, she can talk with the boys, but she's also going to live in a world in which she promotes women.
What was the last work win that you remember celebrating?
With the WNBA and everyone talking about Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, that story in particular is a microcosm of how we're viewing society. Everyone is so polarized, you have to pick someone. And the narrative surrounding Angel Reese and the fact that people are suggesting that she is a bully has everything to do with the aesthetic of a Black woman being very comfortable talking to anyone, including a white woman, on the court, the way in which she is allowed to do, especially if she wins, because that is the nature of sport. And I was asked the question about how do I feel about the perception of these two women? And I said, I was really disappointed because there are so many new analysts, journalists such as myself, who are now just starting to pay attention to the WNBA. They don't understand the history of a league that has been great for the last 28 years. They just started to pay attention. I was in a very unique position as a Black woman to understand what it feels like to feel as if you have to apologize for your boldness or your level of comfort in spaces where there aren't that many of you there.
What is something risky that everyone should try at work at least once?
Saying no to the boss and explaining why. It's not just, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't feel like that's the story in my case. It's risky, it's uncomfortable, sometimes it's punitive, but at the end of the day, it gives you a sense of self and it reminds you that if you work for someone, that's just what it is. You work for them. They don't own your entire being.
How would you describe your work friends?
Extremely intelligent, opinionated, unapologetic. My work friends are inspiring. They're truth tellers. My work friends are people that I admire.
How would you describe your personal approach to workwear?
It's interesting because clothes have been so important in what I do because it is a visual medium. And when I first started, I wanted to look like one of our work friends, Katie Couric. I cut my hair in a bob. I was wearing boxy suits. I was like, this is what an anchor and a reporter should look like. And then the more comfortable I became with myself and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to present, I just was like, I want to be comfortable. What makes me feel comfortable and confident? And that leaned toward high heels and skirts and a little more on the sassy edge.
Quiet colors or bold hues?
I do quiet colors and bold hues.
Fully suited or mixed separates?
I love a mixed separate because it gives me originality. But as of late, I've been into a fully suited situation. There's some power there for me as well.
Slow mornings or out the door ASAP?
Out the door ASAP, otherwise I'll never leave.
Pitch or be pitched?
Pitch. I love to pitch. I'm gonna sell it.
Office hours or happy hours?
Clearly, I prefer a happy hour. Who wants to be in the office? I worked hard all my life. I'm at the happy hour stage, honey. Happy hour, happy hour, happy hour.
Mondays or Fridays?
Mondays. This phase of the career is a Monday for me.
And what do you write typically to sign off on an email?
It's not terribly inspiring. It's right down the middle, but best CC.